one, but it's close. Does the car feel like it oversteers for you when you turn in corners? Yes, it feels like somebody's slamming my gas sometimes too. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Master Chiefin? Alright, so Razor Tube, and myself, Jade Monkey, we're back here. We're doing another base location action. We found a position. We're finally, well, we just got done doing another base location, but we're finally here. And I think you're going to find this one particularly juicy. And it looks oddly familiar. As a matter of fact, I think it might even be the same setup if this wall clips into the back. But anyway, so we are sitting in, if you're in my chat or video, it's C8. Or if you have a third-party application, it's Novo. You can search that Novo. It's at the top north of the map, like almost top center. Or if you don't use any of those things, you could spawn at Svet and take the tracks inland, and you will come up on Novo. Or if you're at the giant crashed ship, this can also get you in this location. Okay, we'll cover some of the basics here. Obviously, location, location, location. One of the major things you've already seen from the builds we've done on stream and other videos, being in a industrial area is superior for base building because you can constantly loot cycle and grab the materials you're looking for. There are trees in the area. You can definitely hit a forest edge around here. Oh, wait, no, is that a zombie? It is. Plenty of residential areas to get your food and water, which is critical. You've already seen a base build like this in this blue warehouse, which is also spectacular. If you build it right, you can also get some vehicles in there if you park them correctly. If you're on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, on DayZ 1.04, I should say this is for console people or people playing vanilla. It can also be for PC people as well. I do have a video on this. I'll make sure to link it in the video in a card right here, and hopefully Razer does the same thing on
Oh
his.
yeah.
I think you have a showcase on this one too, so you can link your own,
Mhm.
which would be cool. But primarily this spot, not only for its location, its loot, its building materials, its car materials, is going to make this just awesome. It's this back guy. We call this the furnace building, or I don't know what it's colloquially known as, but we call it the furnace building. This guy is disgusting. Wait till let's just start at the top.
Yeah. I'm already just
Connects to the other.
stewing
Yeah, it's so good, dude. It's ridiculous.
because there's actually another spot in here as well because in these heavy industrial areas you tend to have higher buildings, which we all know the higher the higher you get, the better off you are, at least in DayZ from my standpoint, from a tactful standpoint. So this type of build is going to be super juicy. Now, Jade's saying that, yeah, the industrial garage you could build in there and whatever, like it's a good area. We've built in there. You've seen it in our streams. We've cordoned it off. We've parked cars in there. We've built it in such a way to where you can't even get in because we have so much barbed wire, You can create obstacles in there just to throw off anybody trying to raid you. Now, the good thing about these heavy industrial areas is you have a lot of other options for pinch points. There's these, they're kind of like cooling tanks. Obviously, you can turn that into like a little sniper spot. There's all types of high points on it in industrial areas just like this. And it just really caters to a very big, like, squad or group working together to try to get a base up and running. And there's actually.
Okay, so before we go all the way to the top,
Mm,
if you're talking about roping off the building itself, there's a couple choke points already that should be pretty obvious.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, up here by the ladder, you can stick a fence kit here, have it swing open with barbed wire if you want to get real spicy. You can also put another fence kit here to really make things obnoxious for somebody coming up the ladder, so that way people can come up the ladder, but you can absolutely decimate them. And
Mm-hmm.
as long as you have a few accounts signed out up here, you're pretty much set. And if you want to take it another step further, creating layers of honeycomb, you can also place more fence kits here, creating another kind of kill spot for people coming up the stairs. Because even if they kill your guy, they're not going to get past the door. Because if you have a defense kit set up here at the actual entrance, and you're probably asking yourself, hey, Jade, I play on console. How do I do this? When you place a fence kit, hit up on the D-pad. You can rotate it.
Mm-hmm.
You can drop a fence kit right smia.
And
Or you can even just have it rope off right here.
yep, and don't forget, you got a lot. The only thing that, and this is a con, and usually I don't like to give too many cons when we're looking at base locations, is the field of view. You got a lot of windows here, so make sure you be mindful of that. There is a higher mountain on the outside of this, but I mean, if you build it just right, you can obviously rope it off to where nobody can see inside your base, which obviously, if you're a skilled DayZ player, you know, obviously this isn't a beginner base by any means, but if you're a skilled DayZ player, you're going to think all these things ahead of time, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I kind of wanted to throw that out there because in buildings like these, you have to be mindful of positioning and where your adversary is going to come from, you know? You can't just play around and just place a little square and think you're good. You have to think of all the possibilities of people coming in and how they're going to shoot you, where they're going to come from, and Jade's little defensive barriers that you'd set up here, they're great for deterring people, especially when you have barbed wire on the outside. And I mean, like I said, dealing damage over time to somebody while they're trying to get to you is just the most ideal situation you want to put yourself in and your squad.
Couple line of sights right here, real quick. If you have people on the hill counter sniping, like you're saying,
Mm.
in 105, we'll be able to throw grenades through windows. But more importantly, if you look right here, since you can't throw grenades in window, there's basically an invisible thing going on here. You'll be able to stick your gun out the window in 105, as I cannot do it now. If you see my guy, he's acting as if he's up against the wall. So longer weapons like this with bayonets on them, you'll be able to hang them out the window. But um, creating these spots back here for you to walk through, but like you can stand out here and do some sniping from the window and then kind of like fade back if you need to.
Mhm.
And there's a couple line of sights. We have one here at the ladder if you're looking down and someone's trying to breach. If you want to create a choke point up here, you're like, hey, is this Steve right there?
Yeah.
Get worked.
Mhm. And it's all about positioning,
Any place you
right?
can kind of create a kill box to look down and like dome them is good.
Yeah, it's just being just having situational awareness when you're building a base. That's the key to all base building is like from your small base, beginner base, to your medium-sized group base, to even your massive like squad base. You just want to really be mindful of what you're doing. And like he's saying, when he's saying like honeycomb, he just means like creating kill boxes on each floor that are going to like impede the people raiding you. You know, I love the top of this building. I'm just gonna go to the
Well,
top.
okay, so if you're, yeah, dude, the top is beautiful. So real quick, if, and again, this is expensive and this will take some people. You want to make sure you're sticking some fence kits here on the edge and create some of those platforms that you can stand up on because clearly you're going to get your wig split up here if you're not creating that defensive, something for you to step up into because then you're just going to make it really hard for you to get back to your base and defend it if you're getting your wig split. And kind of the same setup as downstairs, but there's no window anymore.
And like,
So just be mindful of it and create areas of cover.
and to piggyback off of what Jade's saying is make sure you have alternate accounts on each floor. Just so if you get your wig split, you can come back and kind of recollect and reassess the situation. Um, I just love the top of this building, man. It's
I know, right?
just so good for so many reasons.
They're coming.
I mean, obviously, the first reason is you're looking down directly onto the entire industrial area. Now, there is one high building. It's in front of me. It's kind of like a next to a construction building with multiple floors there. You might have to worry about some snipers there. Um, I wouldn't worry too much if you put walls up. The only place that's really higher than this that you might have to worry about is this mountainside here. Typically, people like to hide in the trees, and if they pick you off without you seeing them and get some good ghillie and sit up in the tree line, yeah, it's possible. But I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of when somebody could shoot down on you. But once you have these walls here, it's just going to effectively blind them, and they're going to lose sight of, you know, the target, meaning you. But it does have a unique type of uh, pocket here. So in the top, it has basically an open room, right? No doors, just an open room. And it crosses over onto another tower. Now, before I cross over onto the other tower, I kind of want to like make you guys understand exactly what I would use this room for. Um, I would create a choke point, right? So I'm not sure if there's an actual ladder that goes up to this other side. I believe this is the only access
There
point.
is, right here.
Where at?
Right here. You would create a gate and put
Oh yeah.
the barbed wire on it, open
Yep.
it up, and then take the hinge off. So if
Abs-
somebody comes up the ladder, they're dead.
absolutely. And this right here, at least in my opinion, I would use this center building is kind of like a one-stop shop, right? You got people raiding you. I'm gonna line barrels up here with ammo, guns, backpacks, armor, stuff like that along the walls. And then my really good gear, like, obviously landmines, stuff like that, I'm gonna store in here and kind of keep it away. I want to keep this stuff up here just in case I get, you know, sniped or picked off in the base as they're trying to uh, move up each floor as they're sieging your base. I That's what I would do from a tactical standpoint. Kind of put a gate here and then a gate on the other side. That way you can kind of lock this off and utilize it as like a, kind of tandem between spawns and bases. Ooh, I love this part, dude. This is my favorite
Isn't that
part.
sick? And honestly, killing like if you create your entry point in the way we came up in the furnace building, and then you rope these off by opening gates and sticking barbed wire on them, nobody can literally remove them. The only way up is through that ladder, and if you just stone cold stun them with that, you command this upper shelf. And
Mm,
look at this. You could just build whatever sniper towers you want, whatever cover you want, and look, you command this road. You
mhm,
can practice sniping on people from the road. Look at this. Just zoom in a second. By the way, that's Civet in that direction,
mhm.
and that's the shoreline. So just look at this. I zoomed in. I'm just gonna do a slow pan. Well, sorry, slow pan as best I can. Oh, look at this. No one's gonna know.
No.
Just blast them.
And a good thing is too about these two buildings is like I was saying, you store everything in the middle right here, all your ammo, stuff like that. But the kicker is you have all this real estate to put whatever you want here. But where are you gonna put your main loot, right? That's the number one thing you're gonna think of. Now, I mean, I don't know how Jade would do it, but this is how I do it. Obviously, we have an access point here at the tippity top of this building, right? So I would basically have all my sniper ammo and stuff down here in the middle where the bridges are. But then when I get to the top, this is where I really want to start getting my ideas. This is where I really want to
Look at them
start,
buns.
like thinking about each corner has a tower. If I can fit it, we wall it off. Maybe my main loot's up here. This is probably one of those areas where I'm going to think about storing main loot. And now you have this little tiny room here, which you can definitely cordon off. You can put gates, walls, you can put anything you want here. Barbed wire to deter anybody from getting up here. Now, this is more of a massive squad type of base, you know? Like, this is what it's going to be. It's a very big group oriented area. It's got a lot of traffic. It's got a lot of resources. It's got a lot of high points. The only thing that you're going to be looking at that's going to be troublesome is A, somebody sniping you. That's going to be an obvious. And B, the resources to pull something like this off. Now, if you're solo, good luck. You got bigger balls than me. Um, I would never do this solo, but this is definitely the very top of the building. This is exactly where I'd keep all my main loot. This is where I'd keep all my guys if I'm thinking about it. And you can create more choke points up here to just kind of, mitigate damage when
Go
somebody's
nuts.
trying to raid you, Obviously, you got to be
Even just
careful.
placing walls and having those platforms around would give you like superior cover up here, because then you can
Mm-hmm.
just poke up whenever you want, and because you definitely want to have cover up here, because right now you can totally get your titties blasted off,
Mm-hmm.
because there's like nothing to hide behind except this dirty shed.
Yeah, and be mindful too when you do come up here. This isn't your average rooftop. There is no lip, okay? So nothing's
Yeah,
gonna
none.
save you from strafing and scoping down and going, off the edge. So you're gonna want to create those
Oh,
walls anyways, because if you don't, I mean, it what's gonna
jeez, that kind
happen.
of makes me want to vomit down there.
Yeah.
All right, so to again kind of build off of what you're saying, and also still say or still do to keep people roped off, instead of making the gate on that layer, you would make the gate down here then
Yeah.
and have it open up into this floor, so that way you can have access to your rooftop, or maybe even go down one more. Can you go down one more? Oh no, it's at the bottom. That is the bottom. I thought there was one more shelf. Yeah, you would have to rope it off here. This would have to be your like your stop point.
Yeah.
There is loot that spawns down here, believe it or not.
Which is nice, and also too to take note, in an industrial area, you're gonna have building mats. You have a town near you, so you got food and water. Also, if you look over to my right here, there's a lot of those little industrial areas where you can find and loot cycle, like we've been talking about, right? You're just gonna hit those up, loot cycle, come on back down here, loot cycle this, and then go end to end over and over until you get all the mats you need to build for this. I would say it's an extravagant type of base build myself. And look at all these little tiny
I love it.
rooms. All, nobody's gonna be, if you pull this off with a squad of people, I'm telling you right now, if you lock it down right, there's a lot of rooms you can utilize. And they're not gonna be able to get in each one. It's gonna take a lot of people to be able to like get inside your base.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm. And let's face it too, when they start raiding you at the top, I mean, accidents happen when the drone's flown. They're gonna either fall off with loot or they're gonna get sniped coming up a ladder because the animation takes too long to get off of it. They're gonna get hit by barbed wire. You could do so many tactful things to help your
So
crew
many
out,
dirty things.
So
Well, let's not
it could be
forget
awesome.
the first build that we did, right, in the garage. That could be your starting point when
Yeah.
you start with your squad, the one right here, and then you can start working your way up. Stage right there in that garage,
Yep.
and then work your way to the furnace, and then build the rest.
Yep.
That would work.
Mhm. And it's basically fill in the blank, right? So it's just basic building. You start small, you work your way to a big base. And honestly, once you get this big and you get up to the top of this big building and you got multiple barrels, sea chests everywhere, you're going to be sitting real pretty, especially if people are trying to raid you. It's going to be literally impossible to hit every single floor. Literally impossible. I mean, unless they got a crew of 20 working for a few days on you, it's it's just going to be hard for them to access every single room, every single tower and whatnot. Yeah, they might, you know, get all your ults and you might, have to respawn and run back. But I mean, the chances of you losing
You're
every
close to the
single,
shore.
yeah, you'll run back and you'll be fine. So,
Well, and we forgot to mention this on the last one, but this is very true. If you're looking at the map, There are, when you server hop to another server, and we're talking about official, this is close to one of those spawn zones. Now, we're roughly like what, C8? One of those spawn areas is like D7 and C7. So like you're a square away roughly or less than some of the jump zones. It takes time to do server hopping now, but you can definitely do it. And so if you got a team that's going out raiding and you need to take some stuff home, it's close enough where you don't need a vehicle necessarily to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with respawning, you're not gonna really have to worry too much here. I mean, if you have multiple counts and you're kind of just, or you server hop or something like that, you'd be close, kind of close to the area, And I mean, it's just
Hmm.
one of those again, very versatile, very resourceful base like locations because you just have so much at your fingertips, and the resources here are pretty much unlimited, And I do like the valley that this is in. It kind of, you know, it kind of funnels people, like when they're raiding, they have to come downhill and then to you. Unless they're on the main road, but you're going to catch them on the main road real easy because you can look left or right and just see, oh, there's a car, boom. But anybody coming in on you, they have to traverse
Oh, I thought you
downhill.
were for real calling out a car.
But no. But people have to traverse. Now this side's a little bit more open, so they're definitely not going to come from this side. At least if they do, that's a pretty dumb move because they're going to get picked off real quick because it's open. I mean, although there's a lot of field of view and points of interest in the hills for people who are trying to siege you, I mean, that's what walls are for, And once you have this all walled off,
Yeah,
they
you would
can't.
definitely have to build up this side.
Yeah, they couldn't even really see you. You just have to think of every aspect when you're building the base, and that's what's important in DayZ now that we can utilize the the base building now, and there's not server hopping or ghosting like before. It changes the meta of the game, and just being able to utilize the mechanics of building to your advantage is just a, a blessing when it comes to uh, building a big base or even your small beginner base.
It's a killer spot. I love the furnace building and the fact that it's stacked up against this other one just makes it so crazy good.
Yeah, and you can utilize it. You could even, once you build up enough, you could be like, yeah, okay, so the garage down there is for our cars and our loot's all upstairs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, pretty
it,
much.
it's end of story, and that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Let me see if I can snake around into the warehouse we built in before. Are my gloves toast?
Are you going down?
I feel like my gloves are gonna be toast. Yeah, I went down. Come on down to the other warehouse. I'm gonna point something out a little sneaky sneaky for anybody
Um,
that stuck around through the video long enough. It's good.
I'm actually going all the way down. Is that what you did?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, so check this out. This is also true of the other warehouse build that we did, and again, I linked that earlier, so you can check out the card. I'll try to put it at the end screen when this comes out as a video. Razor will do the same because I believe he has one too.
Yep.
Still, to touch base, we already know you can do this house right here, this warehouse, cheap, quick, right, to get started. But more importantly, you can store vehicles in here. But check this out. This is so dirty. Do you notice anything weird?
Oh
Step up here,
yeah, you could definitely
Razor.
do that. Yep.
So like, look, he can see through there, right? Let me kill the zombie real quick. I just want to get to the point so we can ramp up this segment.
Mhm.
But okay, you stay there. You saw that we can see through on that side, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a confirm.
Mhm.
Right. So Razor's in the same building. Let me see if you can shoot. Actually, I don't think you can shoot through windows yet. But he's right there in the building. This is a glitch on their part, but Do you see any windows? I don't.
No.
Yep, you can see through, but
Huh.
they can't.
That's insane.
'Cause I promise you that's the back wall. Can you see me teabagging?
I don't see you any. Wait. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see you now.
I know you're standing like right about there. Is that wild?
Wow. Let me actually show that in perspective because that's
You want to switch spots?
sneaky. Yeah, that's sneaky.
Okay. Isn't that dirty? That's a
Mhm.
little something something for people sticking around to the end of the video. I'd be like, there you go. That's why this is OP, brother. We
Yeah.
already know how fortified we can make this position.
Mhm. Let me
Let
see.
this
So
be your opening play.
this is what
Furnace room.
yep,
Yep, I see you.
this is what we're talking about. So Jade's like here-ish, and basically he can see through the wall, and let me tell you, that's sneaky. So anybody going up these stairs? Hi. Boom. Done.
Mhm.
That's
See you later.
yep.
So the warehouse that helps build can be like, hey, there's somebody on the stairwell. So if you can create these little pinchers, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
OP, man. It's broken.
Heck yeah.
I love it. So
That
there
per
you go. This is I don't know what we're calling this, but the furnace stack. I thought you were a zombie for a second. You scared me. But this should help with the bigger squads.
yeah, that's for
DayZ
sure.
104 and above for the consoles, vanilla, and also PC,
Yep. And if you're
PlayStation 4,
obviously
Xbox.
watching this in video form, drop a sub, follow, and like to myself, which is RazorTube, and Jade Monkey.
That's me.